Hi, friends. It's Jacqueline Please, independent consultant and area manager with Arbonne, and I am so excited to give my takeaways from Linda Parker's Servant Heart Retreat. I have to tell you, my son put these beautiful roses on. He was playing on the flight out here to New Orleans with the camera. My husband and I were just cracking up watching him because we didn't even know you could do half the things. We didn't know you could do anything, and he's making these bubble fish eyes and crazy faces and stuff. And so I just turned it on, and here's these roses, so I'm leaving them there. So that is thanks to him. So yeah, I'm down here in New Orleans. And wasn't able to be there with you all for March Madness, and totally sad that I wasn't to be able to be there for that. But I know I was right where I needed to be, and I'll share a little bit of something from here too that ties in with Linda Parker's Servant's Heart Retreat. And this is like this beautiful little moment of silence that I get over the last few days. I haven't had any alone time and total introvert and need my alone time. So I actually wrote out my thoughts from Linda Parker. So I'm just going to go right from my thoughts here. Um, so during Tara and Cecilia talking, one of the things that really struck me was to never let your fear determine your future or somebody else's future. And I couldn't get that out of my head, that idea that my fear shouldn't affect someone else's future. We are on the path to our future every single day, and every day you decide what step you're going to take. And it's those steps, those habits, that determine your future. And along the way, you'll have the opportunity to bring along others with you. A resounding theme from the weekend was that if we make this about us, then we're playing small. And it's when we are here to serve others that we'll have an impact on the world. So I'll tell you my vision. I have this very clear visualization that I do, and it just came to me. It wasn't something I thought out one day. It was just there. And I'm hovering over this city, and it's dark and it's night, and the cars are just zooming like on those movies where you watch the lights just zooming on a bird's eye view of a city. And I'm just hovering there, and I'm this white light. I'm just this beacon, and I pluck someone out from this, and we sit there together, and we're above the city, and we're just watching the busyness below us, just this busyness. And then I pluck someone else out, and then each one of those plucks some people, and then they keep plucking, and suddenly we're just this massive amount of lights in the sky, just hovering above all this busyness, plucking people. And that's really how I see my business growing. That it's people who are stopping for a moment, who are taking inventory of where their life is and where their life is headed, maybe making a change and going in a different direction and helping others do the same. Um, and so last year I made a post on Facebook, and I said I was going to start a clean eating group. And one of Fred's friends said that she was interested in a sample, and I sent her a sample, and it didn't turn into anything at the time. So at the Servant's Heart Retreat, Jenny encouraged us to do 30 days, 30 asks in 30 days. I immediately thought of Susan. So I put her on my list, and I called her in the airport. I almost missed my flight because I was making calls. I didn't hear him calling my name to get on. I was the last person to jump on the plane. But I was talking to Susan, and I told her that I did my typical ask, and during that part of the ask, I said I knew that she had been on a health and wellness journey from her Facebook post from the last year. Mind you, I've met Susan one time in my life. And I also told her that it seemed as if she was on a personal wellness, like a personal growth journey as well. And she said, actually, I am. And I said that her name had come to me over and over during the weekend, and that I know where that whisper comes from, and who am I to say no to him? She said, it's funny you called. I probably should. I was just telling my husband that I probably should sign up with this other company. I'm already doing all this health stuff. I might as well get paid for it. And when we were talking about that, she said, a year ago when you sent me that sample, I loved the sample. It tasted so good. I just couldn't afford it. And I said, well, then that's all the more reason you need to look at this business. If you're at the point where you're not sure you can afford shakes, then you need something substantial coming in that you can afford shakes at the bare minimum. She said, I'm just afraid I'm not going to be able to afford a startup package. And I said, I totally understand. When Fred and I got started on paper, we did not have money to afford a startup package. But what we both realized is long term, we didn't have enough we realized that we truly couldn't afford for me not to start long term. And she said, I understand. I get that. So listen to that whisper. Listen to that little whisper. It's going to come to you, and you need to not think. You need to not ponder. You need to not procrastinate. Just do it. Don't let your fear be the reason that someone else doesn't have the opportunity to change their life. The way that Beth Malcook put it, I absolutely loved her wording. Don't let my fear, my story about her, be the reason why someone else has to settle for discomfort. So, life must be lived forward, but it tells the story backwards. And it's so ironic that that is the story that I heard at Linda Parker's, and that's also the story that I heard today at my commencement ceremony. One of the main speaker, here's my, oh, is it backwards for you guys? Oh, that's kind of funny. Well, anyway, beautiful program, and Shiza Shahid was the commencement speaker, and she is the co-founder with Malala, who, if you know Malala, she's the youngest Nobel Peace Prize recipient. She's been featured on Oprah over and over. She is the young girl from Pakistan who was not receiving an education and went worldwide and was shot for asking people to help her get an education. They entered, she was on a school bus coming home. Two gunmen entered the school bus, said, "Who is Malala?" They came up to her and shot her point blank in the head, and she still survived. And on her, in the hotel, I'm sorry, in the hospital where she was in the UK, Shiza Shahid went to her in the UK, and her family begged her to please help all the other girls. Here's what Malala said while she was sitting there when she had come after the surgery had happened, and she was able to accept Shiza as a visitor. She said, "Everyone is asking me what they can do for you." And she said, "Nothing. I'm fine. Go tell them to help the others." That is so incredibly powerful. She said, we're all on this path. We're all looking ahead. And if you're looking at others and you're looking at a path to follow, then you're on the wrong path. Because the steps that are in front of you aren't your steps. You can only make your own steps. So if you're comparing yourself to someone else's journey, you will never be happy because it's not yours. Life has to be lived forward, but it tells the story backward. And that's why we say you hold the pencil to writing your own future. It's in your hands. Every day you're writing the story. The details are mundane, they're ordinary, they're seemingly insignificant, and doing it, writing the story, is as easy as not writing the story. And because of this, Tara said, you may wonder how long it will take you to touch and experience the rewards of this journey. And the answer is longer than you think. And when you look back, shorter than you will remember. I love you all. Bye-bye.